Good morning, classmates and Professor Priscilla. This is our presentation about how to teach reading. We are Scarlet Ureña, Sylvia Jones, Sheila Mendoza, and Hazel Cordero.
Importance. To make students read text in English is an important part of a teacher's job. Many of them want to be able to read text in English no matter their career. They can read for academic purposes or for pleasure. As a teacher, we should make reading easy for them. Any exposure to the English language is good for a learner. Some of the language will stick in their mind as part of the process of acquisition, especially if the text they are reading is interesting. Reading also helps the students see the patterns for the English writing. This will give the student more knowledge in vocabulary, grammar, punctuation, and the way we construct sentences for paragraphs and text.
Types of readings. There is a complex discussion about what kind of reading students should do because it is discussed if the reading can contain a simple or very complex language. It is important to provide the students appropriate readings that fit their comprehension level. For example, if we give a reading that is authentically directed for native-speaking readers, non-native students with a low level of reading comprehension can make it difficult for them to understand it. It is relevant to take in consideration a balance between real English and the abilities and interests of the students in order to adapt readings appropriately. On the other hand, we can include authentic material for beginners, for example, menus, timetables, signs, and basic instructions. We cannot forget to adapt reading themes according to the student's career and interests. In addition, if there is a mixed group with different careers and majors, we can include more variety of texts. Finally, teachers might want them to read magazine articles, letters, stories, menus, advertisements, reports, recipes, instructions, poems, and reference material.
Skills. Scanning. Students will be able to scan the text for particular bits of information. Skimming. They have to be able to get the general idea of what the text is about. It's very similar to scanning. The difference is that it depends on what kind of text they are reading and what they want to get out of it. For example, reading for pleasure or for academic purposes. Reading for detailed comprehension is to look for the details. We expect students to concentrate on the minutiae of what they are reading. However, one of the teacher's main functions is to teach the student that reading is vitally important.
There are 6 principles. There are 6 principles. The first one is reading is not a passive skill. It means that we need to understand what the word means and understand the arguments. The second one is that students need to be engaged with what they are reading, because if they do this, they will be benefit from it. The third one should be encouraged to respond to the content of a reading text, not just to the language. And the meaning is just as important as grammar. So we need to encourage the students to learn also the meaning of the message and express their own opinion about the topic. This is very important. Then we have the prediction is a major factor in reading, and getting hints through covers, pictures, and headlines is very important for students to get a clue on what they are going to be working with, and so they can have expectations and there will be an active process. The fifth one is match the task to the topic. So in this case, we have to select topics of interest and to be creative and challenging. The number 6 is good teachers exploit readings texts to the full. In this case, we have to integrate the reading text into interesting class sequences using the topic for discussion. We have to be very creative in order to get students' attention.
What do reading sequences look like? Not all the reading activities have the same sequences, but is similar than this. First, the teacher starts the class interacting with the students and asking for some opinions or experiences about this topic. Then students read and analyze the assigned lecture, and then in pairs or in groups, students answer the practice or give some agreements or disagreements. And finally, the teacher writes the answer and some comments or notes in the board and comment the reading. In this area, the teacher provides different reading activities with the purpose the students get interest in the class. For get great knowledge and skills. Here there are some reading suggestions. Students are given a number of words from a text. In groups, they have to predict what kind of text they are going to read. They then read the text to see if their original predictions were correct. Other example, students have to match topic sentences with the paragraphs they come from. Other example, students read a text and have to guess which of group or of people they think wrote the text.